Hi, so today I'm going to be talking about certain key events and moments in the reign of Queen Elizabeth II. Since today is her 95th birthday, I thought I might as well. So let's start. First, we can't really talk about Elizabeth II without mentioning the coronation. This happened in 1953 and it happened at Westminster Abbey. It was the first coronation to be broadcast live, although I think it was her father's, which was the first coronation to be recorded, but hers was the first one to be broadcast live. And 27 out of 36 million people in the UK ended up watching it live. Because, it was a huge event. The whole country paused just to watch her being coronated. And 11 million people listened on the radio. And well, even after the ceremony had happened and they were leaving, like the royal family, the royal entourage was leaving the abbey, 3 million people went on the streets to just try and wave at the new queen. Then comes the visit to West Germany. It happened in 1965, and it was a 10-day visit and the first visit of a British monarch, a royal monarch in that matter, since 1913. As you can probably tell, relations with Germany hadn't been that good, considering the fact that, Britain had faced against Germany in two world wars since 1913. So as you can tell, British monarchs weren't dying to visit Germany. So it was also on the 20-year anniversary of the end of the Second World War, and it was just to show how Britain and Germany were reconciliating, and they had now good relations. Germany was suffering because of the Cold War, but hey, Britain and Germany, they were okay. Then we have this disaster in Wales, the Welsh mining disaster, happened in 1966, the following year. Mud, water, and debris. This all came from a coal mine and ended up burying an elementary school, killing 116 children and 28 adults. And Prince Philip, who died not long, a few days ago. On the 9th, I think it was, so just 12 days ago. He visited the day after the event, although, he visited that and he was there and saw the disaster. And Elizabeth didn't visit immediately. She left it a couple of days later, around a week. And it was because she didn't want to distract from any rescue missions and recovery efforts. Although her former private secretary, Lord Charteris, he said that Elizabeth did regret not going before, but she knew that if she visited, maybe the country would Wales would probably pause, and she wanted every effort to go into rescue and recovery. Then comes the famous walkabout in 1970. It was in the midst of the royal tour of Australia and New Zealand. Instead of sitting in a carriage and going around, Elizabeth said, "Hey, no, I want to walk around and just wave to the people so they can meet me. Just see me wave from my carriage." And that's exactly what she did. It was also with Philip and their daughter, Princess Anne, and it was a casual stroll. It wasn't primarily her idea. It was Sir William Heseltine, an Australian who did serve at as the Queen's private secretary, but Elizabeth was obviously on board and she actually insisted on this. Then we have the Solo Jubilee. So 1977 marked the 25th year anniversary of her reign. And she wore this really cute bright pink outfit, and she had this hat that had 25 fabric bells. It was kind of cute. Not cute as in I'd wear that, but cute as in she looked cute. And she gave a pledge to keep on serving and devote her life to serving her country. She's like, yeah, I made these promises back in my day, back in the 1950s, but I still hold those values. So don't worry, guys, I haven't forgotten. Then comes the wedding between Prince Charles and Diana Spencer, now known as Lady D. Lady Di, depends on where you're from. So it was 1981, and it was a huge event called the Wedding of the Century. 750 million people from 74 countries watched. It was at St. Paul's Cathedral, not Westminster Abbey. So I thought it was at Westminster Abbey, but it's not. It's at St. Paul's Cathedral. And it was such a huge event because the romance between the heir to the British throne and this lady called Shy Di, they really caught their attention. And well, the marriage ended up sparking quite a bit of trouble for the royal family and Lady Di. Yeah, Diana didn't end well. Anyway, let's continue. Then came the famous visit to China. Well, this happened in 1986. Margaret Thatcher, who was Prime Minister at the time, 1984, she promised that to return Hong Kong's sovereignty, which would take into effect in 1997. But in 1986, Elizabeth was she visited China and was the first British monarch to ever visit mainland China. And she went on this huge tour visiting terracotta warriors and the Great Wall, and just visiting China in general. And this is kind of famous not because of Elizabeth's visit, but because of Prince Philip's racist remarks. The guy wanted to make jokes, but it was kind of racist. He did say to a group of British people there that if they stayed too long, they would grow slits in their eyes, like Asian eyes, I guess. Then came the Annus Horribilis. Yeah, Horribilis, name given by the Queen herself. This was the year of 1992. This year brought about the separation of Charles and Diana, the separation of Princess Andrew and his wife Sarah Ferguson, and the divorce of Princess Anne and Mark Phillips. And this fire at Windsor Castle, destroying over 100 rooms. Then 5 years later came Lady Di's death, Princess Diana's car crash in Paris. She did get divorced from Charles in December 1996, but on following summer that year, car crash happened. The Queen, when the thing happened, she did remain in Scotland, and she didn't order the flags of Buckingham Palace to be flown at half-mast. She didn't do an official address, and she didn't really acknowledge the death, I guess. She didn't, there wasn't any official notice. When Princess Margaret died and the Queen Mother died, and when most recently Prince Philip died, the whole country kind of stopped. They put Prince Philip's face everywhere. The flags were flown at half-mast. This whole 8-day mourning period. Elizabeth didn't do an address, but the country did stop. However, this didn't happen, and for Lady Diana, so the country, she was the people's princess, so she was loved by the people, and after criticism, she did order the flag at Buckingham Palace to be flown at half-mast. She did return to London, and she did give a very rare public address. Then came the Golden Jubilee, and this was in 2002, marking the 50th year of her ascension to the throne. Not the 50th year of her coronation, mind you. She became queen in 1952, but she was coronated in 1953. So, this was the same year that both Princess Margaret and the Queen Mother died, and they died within weeks of each other. And she was the first monarch since Queen Victoria to celebrate it. And I don't even know if Queen Victoria was the first monarch to ever celebrate, though. I think she was the first monarch to celebrate the Golden Jubilee. Or one of the first, but she definitely was up there. And she did this huge Commonwealth tour spanning over 40,000 miles. crazy. But I mean, it is, yeah, it is a thing to be celebrated. 50 years on the throne? Damn. Then comes the visit to Ireland, to the Republic of Ireland in 2011, sorry. And it was the invitation of President Mary Markle, and it was the first visit to the Republic of Ireland ever, and the first visit, by Elizabeth, and the first visit by a British monarch in over 100 years to Ireland. I mean, Elizabeth had visited Northern Ireland before, but the first visit to the Republic of Ireland. And then comes the birth of Prince George in 2013, 2 years after the wedding between William and Kate. I remember the wedding. I remember the last two royal weddings, and it was a huge event. I remember in my school we had to paint British flags. It was a huge deal, and when Prince George was born, it was also a huge deal. And he is currently the third in line to the throne. I mean, current monarch is Elizabeth. First in line to the throne is Charles, although who knows if he actually will come to the throne. Then is William. Then is George. And it marks the, not the first time, but a long time since three direct heirs to the throne are alive at the same time. I mean, quite impressive. And then most recently, the wedding between Harry and Meghan Markle. I still remember, as I didn't see it live, but I did see recordings of it. And well, the situation, the whole wedding turned into kind of a meme. I mean, the Queen did not look happy. It did mark this new era of modernity in 2018 because Meghan Markle, she is an American actress. She is a biracial person, and she has been divorced. So, I mean, this wedding just 15 years before would never happen. Never. And although Elizabeth did give her apparent approval at first of the wedding, she did give the approval, but relations not good. They're not good. I mean, if you watch the recent Meghan Markle and Harry interview, the Oprah one, it did raise questions of how dark the color of their son was gonna be. It did cause for Harry and Meghan to leave the royal family in 2020. Then they moved to South California with their son Archie, and abandoned their position and as senior royals. So, relations with them and the Queen, they're not good. But Harry did attend the funeral of Prince Philip, of his grandfather. Meghan did not attend because she is pregnant, so she has to stay in America. But that is the royal family. Elizabeth just today, she was 95 years old. She didn't make a huge deal out of it. Last year she didn't either, but because of COVID. This year because of COVID and the death of her husband. So yeah, it couldn't have been easy for her have her birthday so close after her husband's death. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Those are 13 key events in the reign of Queen Elizabeth II, Britain's longest reigning monarch. And she's not perfect, but compared to all the British monarchs, she's not that bad. And let's hope she remains on the throne for a long time. There's debate as to whether she's going to abdicate in favor of Charles on when she's 95. She just turned 95 today, so who knows? And also, I kind of want part of me wants to see how long she can hold on. Will Charles ever reach the throne? And if he does, will he be fit enough to actually reign England and the UK? Who knows? But yeah, so that's pretty much it. I'm not going to say anything else. So yeah, thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it. Bye!